Well, hello. Here we are, everyone, with, seeing as in I've seen a couple people making some interesting lists for the upcoming Arbet over in Santa Clara this weekend. I thought I'd go ahead and recruit my friend over here, Connor, to see if we can go ahead and rank these decks to the best of our ability. And this is totally unbiased, 100% truthful. There's going to be nothing here that's suspect.
My takes are
Nothing.
100% perfect.
Yes, there's unquestionable, no one can create a better list. All right, that's just what we're gonna go with. All right.
Yeah, I think it'd be good.
Yeah, I think it would be.
I'm Code Graham, by the way, if you catch me online.
Yes. You'll see him over in what was it? EdisonFormat.com, as well as in the really big Edison channel. I think that's what it's called, Keegan's channel.
Oh yeah, I've been up. We've played.
Yeah, I hear you got him a little salty a couple times.
It's been known to happen. I don't know. That's not that hard. Let's be real. Nice guy though. Love the guy.
Oh, love him to death. Love the Arbets. We're both attending. We're both attending this weekend. You know.
Yep.
And we're dragging the carcass of our friend Kyle with us.
Old school TCG.
Yeah.
Check out his channel.
It's dead, so go ahead and check it out. But we're out here to support the boys. Yeah, I know. All right. So
let's get into the tier list.
Starting off with the tier list, we're gonna go with something near and dear to my heart that I know everyone kind of knows me for, and I think it's probably one of the best decks in the format. Chainburn. And personally, for me, I think it is a B tier deck.
Chainburn. If it had any results, maybe. And if I'd ever lost to it in my life, maybe. But I'm thinking C or D personally.
Look, okay. Just because you weren't in attendance for the tournaments that I did win with this in 5-round events doesn't mean it's a bad deck. I just draw like absolute shit when I play you with it.
Again, it doesn't have any results. And your little 5-round locals, if they were 5 rounds, I find it hard to believe that you won 5 rounds in a row with this deck.
I most definitely did, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, 3 rounds at best. So I don't know, but I guess the representation is probably really low. I still wouldn't go above C tier personally. I feel like there's just not enough cards to make this deck good, and consistently strong enough in this format.
I mean, you're not wrong.
But also,
we don't have card yet. We don't have quite a few other things, and you have to supplement your draws somehow. That just doesn't tend to work out too well.
Yeah. That, and I think if this deck really did get popular, you would, if for some reason it got extremely popular and you saw a huge representation for it, I feel like it's really easy for a lot of decks to just side in a card like Primat Dragon that just nullifies the entire situation. So I don't know. I feel like even if it was doing okay here and there, it would get sideboarded out of the format really quickly. So C at best, in my opinion.
Okay. You know what? I'll concede that. C tier is fine. Sure.
All right.
I think it's a top of C though. Top of C. So
I think it's a Make-A-Wish deck, but I won't get it.
No, we have other decks for that tier, okay? We have other decks.
For sure.
Which deck would you say is Make-A-Wish right now?
6 AM?
But okay, but hear me out. We do have our friend, near and dear to our heart, Patrick, that does do well with this deck. It's just he hasn't won yet with it.
Okay, shout out to my boy Angel at Magic and Monsters, who plays 6 AM every other week. He beats me with it 1 out of 3 games every single match. I understand the power of Grandmaster. Grandmaster's a great card. Grandmaster's actually kind of a busted card. Uh, the deck can sometimes do something, but there's a difference between win one game and win a match, and it's not in the win a match. It's in a win one game.
Okay, but
So
is he playing the one with like the D fissures and stuff like that in the main?
not always, but I haven't lost to that version of the deck either. So I feel like, you know what I mean?
No. I kind of get you. I got you. I mean, I love going against 6 Sam decks. It's a free win 90% of the time, seeing as I'm playing
And that's good enough for you to put it in
frogs.
make.
You know, it is. It loses very hard to frogs unless they're playing, of course, the D fissures and stuff like that. But then even then, like Soul Exchange Tribute, okay, your board's gone, and I kind of just win. And it also loses to Lad very badly.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, I think it's another deck, just like we were saying about Chamber. I think there's just not enough cards for it yet.
Yeah, they're missing the synchro, right? If I'm correct. This is before
Nope.
the synchro.
Yep. Yeah, Shien is Synchro Shien's a very strong card. But not legal yet. So I don't know. I'm sorry to all my 6 Sam lovers, but it's just not in this format.
You know, since since we're down here in the Make-A-Wish, we might as well give 6 Sam some company and go ahead and put one of our friends. Actually, we could put aliens down there, but I was thinking for our best friend, we put Gemini back down there as well, because no one plays the deck outside of him. He has had tops, but like, that's it.
I'm gonna run defense. I was talking.
Oh, you're running defense for Kyle.
I'm running defense because I don't think Gemini is Make-A-Wish. I think Gemini is basically the way that I see the Gemini deck is it's a strictly worse version. A good Gemini deck is basically a strictly worse version of Gigabyze. Because you're just playing bad Gemini cards to facilitate doing what you would do anyway, which is the big Gigaplant OTKs, which is what Kyle's deck, like when it wins, that's what it's doing.
Right.
So I would put it in D tier. Because it can beat a lot of decks, and it has a lot of, at least the way Kyle builds it, has a lot of space for back row. It can play annoying. You can go watch our round 2 feature match at Arbet LA on day 2.
Oh yes, that's right. He did play it for that event.
And he beat me in the feature match. And
okay, so this is why you're defending it. Got it. Because you kind of have to.
I'm just saying, who's ever lost to 6 Samurai? But I've played against Gemini probably more than anyone watching this video. It's better than Chainburn. And if we're putting Chainburn in C tier.
All right. Okay. I'll concede D tier for it.
I put it in C tier actually. It's better than Chainburn.
I don't think it's better than Chainburn.
It's
whatsoever.
It's better than Chainburn.
No.
Again.
All right, I'm making my channel executive judgment.
All right,
we're keeping it in D.
Wrong. You're so wrong. Anyway, all right. Next
deck. Your choice.
I want to do something higher up. Let's talk. Let's just go next. Let's talk Blackwing Hybrid.
Okay. Where would you put this?
I would put this in A tier. I think it's the worst version of pure Blackwing.
Really?
Yeah, I think basically it's splitting the difference between Vayu, an S tier deck, and pure Blackwing, another S tier deck. And it just doesn't end up being as good as either of those individually. From playing against this deck and playing with this deck, it works. Obviously, it's still strong, but I think that the Greffer and extra Vayus are just the deck usually looks mostly like a normal Blackwing deck. Um, and adding in the Greffer and extra Vayus, like I feel that it generally you're just trading your normal summon now instead of being a Blackwing, which you can stick with a Collude and an Icarus attack, where like your opponent has to worry about those things just based on the fact that you're playing Blackwings, which is I think part of what makes that deck really good is that like even when you're just setting a card or just normal summoning a guy, you're representing that, oh, maybe I have a Clue, maybe I have these busted like a busted card like Icarus, that you have to play around and respect. Even if they don't. Whereas like you normal summon a Greffer, you send, you maybe set up an Armed Wing, and you don't necessarily always want to fire the Armed Wing right away for a variety of reasons. But the Greffer isn't scary, and like it can like help speed kill your opponent, but also normal Blackwing, if you open right, can just turn 2 kill your opponent anyway.
Yeah,
So
I know.
I feel like I feel like it's just unnecessary. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And I feel like it just makes your Blackwing worse.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with like pretty much everything you said. Like, maybe it's just because I've seen Sean pop off with this deck a lot at locals that like I respect it a lot more over like regular Blackwing, because I've just seen him be able to like just OTK it out of fucking nowhere, like just special summon the Greffer, normal summon like anything on then Whirlwind Search, like just completely just pump you down with damage even like out of nowhere. So I don't think it's S. I do think it's A. I still think it's probably like towards the top of A.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's still very strong, and you have to respect it a lot. I just think like it just feels slightly less threatening than the other two versions of the deck to me, and that bumps it down a little bit.
Yeah,
but by no means is not good. It's very strong.
It's definitely a deck you can. I think in all actuality, I think it probably has like the most quote unquote skill expression, I guess you can say, because like the other two just kind of just do the same thing over and over and over again. For this one, like you have like a little bit more room for like trying out a couple different cards here and there.
I don't know. I don't think the skill expression is very different between this and Blackwing and Vayu. I don't think it. I don't think it requires anything different that those two decks aren't already requiring out of you. Personally, but
okay. All right.
Anyway,
well,
you want to hit the next one?
Yeah. If we're we're putting that in A, we'll go ahead and put the deck that like is pretty much dead at this point, because like I don't think I see anyone playing it outside of like Danny, our friend at locals.
Sure.
Hero Stun.
Yeah, like Hero Beat, Hero Stun. Yeah.
It's still like an annoying deck for like Blackwings to deal with, but then like also just the fact that it runs out of resources very quickly, and like it still loses to frogs. It still loses to it still loses to Vayu, because Vayu will just hit the back row in the damage step or whatever it is. Where like
I feel like Hero Beat is just kind of outclassed nowadays.
Yeah.
Like definitely had its moment, and I mean it's a fine meta call if you think that you're gonna show up and play 6 rounds of like
Blackwings.
pure Blackwing.
Yeah.
Right? Like
100%.
It's fine in that situation. And there was a time where people were like, actually Hero Beat's an insane deck. But I think as time has gone on, like it's had less representation, and definitely had even less representation in top cuts. Like you just don't see it anymore, and when you play against it, it feels more like a few years ago Edison deck, as some of these other decks on the list do. And it just it can run out of gas too quickly, and if it doesn't see the right cards to interrupt whatever your opponent is playing, like then sometimes you just lose out on that.
Oh yeah, and then I think it has like a terrible plant matchup, which like plants is like one of the better decks that's out right now. And then I don't think it has a great Forgs matchup, because Forgs wants you to keep a monster on board, and they'll just be like, oh okay, cool, that's a cute honest you have in hand. It's not going to save you from like colossal armory arm.
Yeah, I agree. And like, look, Gemini Spark's a great card, but it can only do so much to carry the deck. And same with
Yeah.
Miracle Fusion. Like, it's good, but it's also one of the slower Miracle Fusion decks because sometimes you can just hero beat because they opened a couple of Miracle Fusions and a couple of back row. You get through the back row, and they haven't drawn enough monsters to like make the miracles good. And
Yeah,
it's
they saw like they probably see like an Alias, a Stratos, and then like their what was it? Their ocean gets bottomless or just gets
exactly.
dealt with like immediately. And they're just like, well, I think I just lose here.
Yeah, and generally I'm gonna rank a deck lower when I'm feeling like when I sit down across from them in a tournament, I'm like, oh cool, perfect. I'm playing against Hero Beat. Got it.
Yeah.
No issue.
You can kind of just relax a little bit. You're like, okay, I know exactly what to do in this matchup. All right.
Yeah.
Cakewalk.
And I think the deck being so like
Would you say linear?
Like linear, but like also reliable. Like you know what you're gonna see out of the Hero Beat player for the most part.
Yeah.
And even if they're on some cool tech or some kind of innovation, like it's still a very linear and simple game plan, you know?
Yeah, very much so. So do you think C tier is probably where it's at? Probably like middle C?
So. I think so. I think if you have a good player on some smart tech, like making a good meta call, they could have a pretty decent run with it. But I think outside of that, it's not going to put up any results.
Yeah, I think you can get top 16 with it, but I don't know if it gets higher than that unless like as we said earlier, you play nothing but Blackwings the entire time.
Yeah, that too. So, yeah. I think C tier's fair.
All right. What would you like to go ahead and choose next?
Let's talk about lightsworn. Pure lightsworn.
Pure lightsworn.
Yeah, I have some thoughts.
All right.
Because I'm putting it in somewhere between A and S.
Would you say it's better than hybrid?
I would say I see lightsworn in Top Cut more than I see hybrid in Top Cut.
That's very valid.
I see pure Blackwings in Top Cut more than I see lightsworn, but I don't know.
I think top of A is fine, just because
yeah.
Because
I think top of A.
For everyone out there that's played lightsworn, I think we all know the hands you get sometimes, and
yep,
they are just the hands. And I mean, what was it in the IERC or season's finale? I think we had like 3 lightsworn players in top 8. And I mean, one of them went the whole way through undefeated until the finals, and then they lost twice to Blackwings. So
yeah, I mean, pure lightsworn, it gives and it takes, obviously. I like the new lists that we've seen topping with like triple Jane and stuff. I think that those look really nice. I like the way those ratios look. I think if the deck keeps going in that direction, I think it's gonna. I mean, it's lightsworn. It's always gonna do well. Like whenever I see a top 8 or a top 16 cut, I'm always kind of mentally expecting to see a lightsworn in there. Yeah, at least, if not 2.
Because it's someone's day where they just high rolled every single time, and they just were like, okay, JD push game, and you're just like,
yeah. I mean, if they roll good and then are also playing well and smartly and are able to just get some wins out of their mediocre openings, the mediocre mills, like then yeah, I mean lightsworn can have a good run, and you know it can be a locals killer. Like I'm never happy to sit down across from a lightsworn, so I think that says something.
The pace of the game is always just like I have to have the outs for the 4 names engraved, and like I need to make sure I have something that protects myself from just like JD nuke swing for game every single time.
Yeah.
And yeah, just the pace of the game, especially when they go Gold Sark for JD, and you're like, okay, so I know that's going to be in their hand in 2 turns, so I have to make sure I put their life points low enough, or like I'm in just a winnable position where they just can't do anything.
Yeah, it's definitely a different. I would say playing against lightsworn determines the entire feel of the game. Because lightsworn players determining the pace of the game depending on how quick they're able to push, and then it's one of those decks that with the exception of Honest, they might as well be playing with their hand on the table.
Yeah.
And so that games I feel like feel a little more mechanical. But if you're okay with that, I mean, lightsworn's definitely can be fun to play.
Yeah. It's a fun deck to play at locals. It's a fun deck to play at
Yeah.
tournaments. You just have to know that like there are going to be hands where you draw and you're going to be like, there's no reason I should win this, and if I do, it's because my mills are about to be just insane.
Yeah. And look, if it's your day, then it's your day.
We've both
know what I
lost to we've both had our fair share of losses to lightsworn. We're just like, yeah, they just milled like Wolf, Celestia, JD game, and you're like, fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. All right, what's next?
All right. Okay, so A tier for lightsworn pure. How about we go with the my old classic, my old faithful quick draw plants. As much as I love this deck, I love it to death. I think it's low B, high C. Just because it gets checked by everything in the format, especially after sighting. It gets checked harder than like frogs do after sighting.
So for quick draw plants, what type of list are you talking about here exactly?
Like the OG one, where it's, you know, the quick draw, you got Lone Fire, you have some Raikos, you're just Titanial, and you're just doing
Okay. So
you're just doing
like
it's just a basic list.
OG quick draw Danny Warrior type stuff.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I think B tier is actually a totally fine place to put it. I mean, I think that the deck is super fun to play.
Very much so, yes.
But and I played a good amount of this deck too, and it just like you can beat all of the better decks sometimes.
Yeah.
And then sometimes your hands just don't add up to very much, and you feel like you can't do anything.
Oh,
or
dude, the high you get when you open up quick draw, Lone Fire, Dandy plus an Amaryllis, and then like draw into like a debris. You're just like, there's no way I lose this game whatsoever.
Fantastic.
It's like the biggest high you can have with that deck.
I think part of it is, I think game ones are good. I think that I feel like it sucks playing a deck like quick draw all day in a long tournament when you know you're gonna run up against decks playing oppression.
Oh yeah. Oppression,
like,
Vanity's Fiends.
Vanity's Fiends, even Dyna.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even having like your Drill Warriors banished and then you just like pass and your opponent goes, okay, normal Dyna, and you're like, oh, okay, I just lost all my advantage.
Yeah, you're like, I better draw into book or like
Or
something like on the draw that like deals with that now. Which also sucks that you have to like dedicate probably like 4 to 5 slots in your side deck.
Yeah,
just
so
to
you
those
have to
cards.
dedicate slots. And it's the kind of deck that doesn't play well when you feel like you have to side heavy. Like you cannot side heavily in that deck, or else your engine just doesn't function.
Yeah.
And I think you'll see that when players will try to side around deck dev in quick draw and like take out like a bunch of the little guys and basically just like pivot into like some kind of beat down package with like breaker or like heroes or something, like the deck just usually doesn't really work. And they can't generate advantage. So like at least when I do it, I just say like, I'm playing this deck that hard loses to deck devy. I have to just hope they don't see it, or siding in cards that like, all right, well, I'm gonna try to put a guy on the field so that if they do deck devy, I can my body, like things like that, you know.
Like trap stun, like you have to side in trap stuns. Decree is like almost a must sometimes, and then like even that like cuts your options off for like just back row you can play.
Yeah, I feel like the deck is really fun. It can be really good when it gets rolling, but if you don't open great, it can be hard. And if your opponent is playing a type of deck that's popular that just has like these hard counters that like instantly like screw it, like it's rough. So I think that pushes it down to B tier.
Yeah.
But still cool deck, fun deck. I like it.
Very fun.
I wish it could like push through a little bit better, but I think there's other quick draw variants that can, but
Yeah.
I guess in that case, if you want to just talk about Machina quick draw really quick, which is
Yes. Ooh, I don't think I made that one.
that's crazy.
You know, we'll just say Machina is Machina quick draw. How about that?
Cool. I was like, you're about to get choked out by Cody Sessions, bro.
No, he moved to a different state. That's fine.
All right, you're gonna get away with it.
Yeah. All right. So where would you go ahead and put this then?
I want to put Machina quick draw in. All right, I want to be a greedy guy. I want to put it in A tier.
I mean, okay, I can understand it just because it does mix well with the Machina, with like just Machina in general, just being a free pitch for Fortress, and just like you're just able to like convert like a dead hand into actually just a 2500 just beat stick with the disgusting effect.
I think that it goes in A tier. Here's my reasonings. I think it's the best kind of like quick draw list that, or like it loses the least to deck dev, which is nice. But I don't know. I feel like it's kind of the strongest. We've seen Machina quick draw go on like insane 9-0 runs like multiple times.
Yeah.
I just don't think it sees a ton of representation. But I think when a good player is playing a list that's like pretty decently tooled to what the current meta is looking like,
what was it?
This deck can really put up results.
Nima, like, didn't Nima go undefeated in Swiss?
Yeah,
for
I think
the
he went like,
Arbet playing this deck.
I think Arbet LA last year, not this year.
Yeah.
He went undefeated, I want to say. And I think he was like 9-0, I think, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think he had like one draw
or something. Yeah. Anyway,
I think it was like one, but regardless, he won like pretty much every match all the way up into the finals.
Yeah, and so I think that, again, I think that this is a deck I'm almost surprised we don't see running around more often.
I think it's just because like people think quick draw and they're like, I just don't want to lose the deck dev, and then just don't play it.
Yeah, and I think like this deck can get hit by oppression pretty bad, but I don't know. I think more people should be trying to play this deck. I'd like to see some innovation on this deck. I think it's very strong.
I know, what was it like you said earlier, our boy Cody Sessions. I mean, like, he's been playing this deck like religiously a bunch, and he gets a lot of like just good wins on like good opponents. Just like
he had like a three tournament like win streak for a little bit, didn't he?
I'm pretty certain he did. Back? I think it was like 3 or 4. Yeah, where he just like he came in won, and was just like, yeah, this is just a really, really good deck, and he was doing very, very well with it.
Yeah. So no, I think it's definitely, I think it's the best quick draw variant, although it is doing the least like quick draw type stuff.
Yeah, it's a supplementary engine. That's really it.
Yeah, I think it's still the strongest, and I would like to see more innovation on it. I want to see what the next step on this deck is.
Man, maybe I might have to just start playing quick draw again. We'll see.
It's fun. It's so fun.
No, I know it is. I know, but frogs are also just fun. And you know, since I said frogs, you know, you might hate me for it. S tier, I think Frog Monarch is still S tier. It might be at the bottom of S tier because it does get checked by like a couple of the other decks in there, but like a good Frog Monarch player can just steamroll the entire event, I believe.
I think that Frog Monarch is a good deck.
Okay, how about you stop being salty for like 2 seconds?
I think that there are certain builds of Frog Monarch that probably push it into S tier, and people aren't representing them enough. I think that certain cards push this deck up, and we just haven't seen enough representation of them. One of them being Spiritual Water Art Alley. I think that card is busted in Frog Monarch.
So I know what was it? It's you. It's our buddy Joel, a GB player, as well as quite a few other people hate me for playing the card. because I'll resolve it 3 times in one game, and then it's just.
I mean, yeah, I don't see in this deck. I mean, obviously, Frog Monarch topped the Arbet last weekend or the weekend before, right? It got a top.
Yeah, I think it got top 8, right?
Yeah,
I don't know if it made it past that.
I don't know. I don't remember. But I mean, it made the top at a 256 person event. I think, it's been a while since we've seen a result from it, but playing, kind of the new tech like that, like Aoi, and being on the main deck Lad, I think is kind of necessary because Lad can just shut out certain, Lad can really shut out certain games. And in certain matches.
It'll check quick draw. It'll check plants. In all honesty, it checks everything that's not like. I mean, if it'll even checks frogs if they don't have the Treeborn already in graveyard.
Yeah, I mean, personally, part of my reasoning for even having a couple of extra lightsworn names in my value list is that, well, if I end up playing against Frog Monarch, at least I have a normal summonable out to Lad.
Yeah.
Like, I can loop out Lad without having to rely on Vayu and Grave. Whereas, like, Frog Monarch player can be like, holding Lad until, all right, he used the Vayu, sick. Now I can drop Lad and he can't out it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know what? I'll give you Frog Monarch an S tier. But I think that before I truly feel that it deserves the S tier in my heart, it needs a little more needs a little more representation. But I think that Aoi and
I think salvage in the main. I think people need to start playing more salvage in the main because like you as well as everyone else at like all the locals that I go to, like just watching me to sit there and go, okay, dump, go ahead and salvage back, get whatever resources I need, and just make the board again is just very annoying.
Yeah, and that plays around deck Devi as well.
Yeah.
Which is pretty helpful. Because, I mean, how do you feel in your, like, Blackwing matchups?
I think they're fine. In all honesty, it just comes down to just how cracked the Blackwing player opens. I mean, if they open, like, double Whirlwind or, like, one Whirlwind and, like a Blizzard, with, like, any sort of level 4, I'm kind of in a bad spot because they can just push me a little bit quicker than, like, I can defend.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can keep, like, the back row to a minimum and keep their stuff banished or like looping them, I'm fine. At least my Blackwing matchup always just feels like it's like, okay, my opponent just drew better, whatever, it's fine.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like very bottom of S tier is acceptable.
Yeah, I still think that like Frog Hero is better than it, but I just also don't like that deck.
Valid.
I mean, since we said it, yeah, we'll put Frog Hero in S tier, and I'll say exactly why I just don't like it. You'll see one engine, you'll see all frogs, and you just won't see any heroes, and you're just like, I'm playing E-calls, I'm playing the Rhoda, and I don't see any of it. And or maybe you have like the, because I know most of them play the, what is it, Edge? 2600 beater?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing the Edge, and they just have the Edge in hand. They're like, okay, well, I got a frog combo real quick, deck them, hope I start seeing the stuff, and then they just don't see it. Or it's the reverse, where they just see all heroes, all miracles, and then they see no frogs. So then they're like, well, this one miracle fusion has to like resolve and go ahead and like make it to the graveyard afterwards, or else like I'm just in a shit spot.
Yeah, I think that I think Frog Hero is very good. Although in some aspects I feel like it plays a little more fair than Frog Monarch. It and the way I would describe it is like Frog Hero I think plays a little more like a beatdown deck than Frog Monarch does.
Very much so. Very much so.
So yeah, in that way, like even though it's got a lot of broken cards, and like Treeborn sack for Monarch, is very strong, and the heroes are busted. Like it plays on a similar axis to a lot of the other decks in the format. right? Like your
Yeah.
normal summon is like a card that's doing something, or it's a monarch. Like it's either a Stratos or an Alias, or it's a monarch. Um, and you're kind of going like you're doing some 1-for-1 tradings, and then you're beating down.
Oh yeah.
I think it's one of the very best decks at that, next to Vayu. Um, but that's kind of the game plan. So it feels almost more fair, but I still feel like, yeah, it deserves to be an S tier. I mean, Miracle, like Ab Zero is just a busted,
Yeah.
just one of the most busted cards ever. Like,
especially since it
and
still triggers when it goes to the extra deck. It's just like,
yeah,
it's a little much.
and it is, and I think it is probably the best Miracle Fusion deck. Just full stop.
Yeah, 100%. Like without a
Like
doubt.
you pretty much always have it's live and Swap Frog and Ocean, just let you like work out any of your problems. Usually when it comes to like making Ab Zero and just and I mean like results wise, Arbet LA like they or not LA Vegas day one finals being a Frog Hero mirror, and the list is basically the same except for like 2 cards or something.
Yeah.
Like I feel like, yeah, you want to play a good deck, just play the one with 3 Rise in it. Like fuck it. You know?
No, for sure. I think what was it? And so this past weekend was Deck Devastators, and I think like the higher of the 2 decks, it was Frog Hero. I think got top 8, and then Frog Monarch got top 16, if I'm correct.
Yeah. So, yeah, again, I think S tier deck, one of the strongest ones in the format. One of
with
the
like OTK potential just out of nowhere.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
I mean,
like just
it's very very good at like, you know, over a couple turns knocking your opponent down some life, and then going like miracle into game. You know.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I think S tier is fine. One of the best. One of the best in the format when piloted well.
Yes.
It's not the easiest deck on the. It's not going to be the easiest deck in S tier to play. That's for sure.
I agree. Yes.
You have to be actually decent at the game to do.
Yeah, you have to know like matchups very well. You have to use your resources very very wisely.
Yeah. All right.
All
What's
right. So on to the next one. Your choice, sir.
Let's talk about Glads. Let's talk about the
Glad's
let's talk
Pier?
about Trap Glad.
Trap Glad? Okay, so
Yeah,
it's gonna be
that'd
more like
the Glad Pier.
Glad Pier. Alright.
Because I'm thinking when you say Glad Beast combo, I'm looking at like the new kind of hot spicing Glads with the Recklesses and the multiple respite. Yeah. Glad Beast Pier, I think a long time ago it would have been low. Nowadays, up A tier for sure, I think. I think people figured out Glads.
Yeah, I think bottom A is fine.
I think it's a very strong deck. It's gotten enough top cut representation over this last year that like.
However, I do have
good.
the caveat. I do have the caveat there though.
All right.
Is that we have yet to have a GB player do well consistently without being found out for cheating. So
I mean, I'm just saying like
lists win, but like the same.
We've seen enough lists top, but
some of the more notable
that's
ones.
what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well,
I still think it's a good deck.
The bow situation aside, I think it's a good deck. I think that we've seen a lot of like out of the topping list this year, a lot of them have had very different trap lineups, which I think is interesting. So that different versions of this list can keep doing well, and I think that bodes well for the deck because if wildly different trap lineups work for this deck, that also means it's harder to side against and harder to play around. Because when you look at a Glad player, you're like, dude, that set card could be one of 15 different cards.
Yes,
and that makes the deck harder to play against.
Yes, 100. Like I can't tell you how many times I'm having to sit there and do like mental gymnastics, looking at the graveyard, being like, okay, is it a book? Is it a shrink? Is it a bottomless? Is it a fucking
Is it a Wabaku?
Yeah.
Like a lot of times I'm just sitting there like, dude, like I need this attack to connect or else I'm in a terrible position. But like, dude, if they just have a Wabaku, I'm screwed. You know? Like
yes.
And then
Or they had
sometimes,
the one from hand as well.
yeah, hedge guard.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's like they're not even playing the card that you're worried about, but you're playing around it anyway.
Yeah, because you've
And I
seen
think
so
that
many
that's
other lists play it.
honestly,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And I think that that's kind of a benefit to playing Glad is you have this ability to like kind of psych out your opponent, and then like sometimes all you need is 2 good turns, and as long as you don't mess up later, you've won the game already.
Yeah.
Um,
And I've seen a lot of GP players also just sighted in 3 what is it? Anti spells.
yeah,
Yeah.
you get to you get to also just play like your sideboard is disgusting.
Yeah.
Now I think that the Blackwing matchup being bad definitely is what's keeping it down at the bottom of A tier, probably.
I think it's what? The Blackwing, I still think Vayu Turbo does well against it because like
I think Vayu has a pretty decent matchup in the Glads.
yeah, and I mean even hybrid Blackwings I think still does very well to it because I mean
I think Machina has fun. Well, depending on the version of Machina you're playing, it should have a decent matchup in Glads as well. But
Cherry doesn't hit Mock Fortress, does it?
no,
It's an inherent.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's part of it. I mean, it can stop the gear frame, but nothing else.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think. Well, although Glads does have the built-in, basically you have 4 copies of Cyber Dragon if you're playing Prismo, so that helps.
Yeah.
But
then you also have to be main decking in the Cyber Dragon at that point.
Game 2 and 3.
Yeah, games 2 and 3. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, regardless, I think Glads. I think Glads is fine in A tier. You just. I think one of the things that keeps it there too is that like you just can't really mess up.
Which,
like,
in all honesty, it is very easy to mess up with that deck.
Yeah, it's very easy to mess up with Glads because you have access to your whole deck,
Yeah.
the entire time. So you can mess up. But like if you're practiced on Glads, it can go very, very well for you, as we see with some of our friends like Joel, like just
Yeah.
going to the final round of locals over and over and over and over again with the same list. And then someone, maybe at the same tournament playing the same list as him, not doing hardly as well just because they're not as practiced.
Yeah.
So I think Glads is one of those decks that when you see someone doing well with it, it definitely shows off the like skill of the pilot quite a bit.
Very much so. Because I think, what was it? The only reason Joel lost, I think, this past tournament, I think like last week, was just off of his own misplay alone. And then after he did it, he realized it and he was like, I'm going to lose off that. And then he ended up losing right off of it. And it was just like,
yeah,
damn.
Yeah. So I think let's just piggyback the Gladbees combo right off of this.
Sure.
This is some new spice.
It is. So like it's not like entirely tested, but I mean it's still
when I look at the deck, I go, that could be A tier.
Could be. So would you rather put it in low B or high B?
No,
or would you rather?
It looks scary to me, and I was watching the gameplay, and I was like, this deck needs more representation, which I think it'll get, and I am scared to play against it.
Okay, you're gonna be sending me this list because I like kind of know about it by like proxy, but that's about it. So like, would you think this is something we might see over at Santa Clara this weekend?
I would not be surprised if I were to run into a player like at least one of us running into a player or two trying out this like Glad Beast list where they're not really playing as many traps, but they're basically the idea of it is you have Respite to like shuffle back stuff over and over and over again.
Right.
And then you have your Reckless Greeds and then Respite, like a quest to loop a Respite every turn to like let you redraw. And so what they're kind of doing is like just shuffling, like going through their deck over and over again to draw into their power cards to let them like push through your back row. Like,
yeah,
basically drawing 3 cards to like multiple times to get into heavy, Trunade, whatever, and get through your back row, and then their monster attacks connect, and then okay, Laquari into Herrick, and then like they don't need the back row is the idea.
Yeah, because like in theory they're gonna get to the cards that are gonna out that back row regardless, and then they're just gonna make the big push.
Yeah, and then they don't need to stall you by playing a bunch of back row. Because they're gonna get their glad effects off, and then push, and then once they're ahead, and they can loop their cards and just stay ahead.
Which GB's went ahead is just
So
yeah.
I think until we know more, I would leave that in A tier as well. I think it's probably going to be very strong, and I think we're going to see a lot of it.
All right, what to do? A recap of this later, because like this is definitely something I'm gonna want to like see once like the tournament's over and be like, did we play any of this new GB shit? And then
again, it might be like flavor of the month and it falls off, but it will. If I was to take a guess, I feel like this is going to be something that might stick around.
Okay, speaking of flavor of the month, Jinszo OTK.
B tier.
You're thinking B? I'm thinking low A.
I'm thinking that the innovation we've seen on this deck recently is not enough to like push it up into like being consistently good.
I mean, it does have like a good matchup into Blackwing though, or like any trap deck.
I mean,
like just inherently it has that.
Have you played this deck much?
I haven't played it, but I've watched it played a lot.
At least
because
when I played it and played against it, like sometimes it just wins. Like it just fully wins. And there's nothing anyone can do about it. But it kind of feels like Dragon Turbo in that sense where it's like, and if it's not winning, it's losing, and it's losing really fast and really hard. And so, you'll see the Jinszo OTK player at the tournament walk out of a round looking really happy in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then the next 3 rounds, they're the first player done and they just got walked over.
And so at least from the guy that like what was I think I have the deck list video on the channel. He won one of the big Edison events over at Collectible Exchange, and I know he's also won quite a few. I think over at Card Addiction as well. And yeah, no, like I think like any of the games that he lost, it just came down to like just like an unfortunate circumstance, or just like he just really didn't see anything that one game. But like more often than not, it felt like he almost always like had a playable hand and just had the out for the board. Because I also think he was main decking the what is it, Cyber Enten or Entian or Eltanen as just his way to go ahead and just clear the board and just be like, okay, I can make the push now, or like get a good enough damage in.
If we want to talk about individual cards that deserve way more respect in Edison format, Cyber Eltanen is one of them.
Honestly, yeah, like just a effect that sends, so it gets around everything else that like in the format that prevents destruction, and it can just be a complete powerhouse on hitting the board is pretty fucking good.
Look, there's nothing like sending an entire Gigabyze board to the grave with Eltanen. There's no feeling like that in the universe.
Oh, dude, yes. I can't tell you how many times I've had my board, my triple dupe just sent to the graveyard just off of it. And I'm just like, oh, cool.
Yeah, it hurts.
It does. Thankfully, I have Flip Flop Frog, but like that's only gonna do so fucking much. And then, not fun.
Yeah, but anyway, I think Jinszo OTK, with a real lack of good results anytime
I think
recently,
it topped Deck Devastators this weekend too. I think it made top 8. I was gonna say,
except for that single top at Deck Dev, I still have a hard time putting it anywhere above B tier. Okay. I mean, I like the Doom Cow in that list to go through Gores. I mean, like, there's cool stuff. I just feel like it's just not consistent enough.
Doom Cow on the before battle phase is actually it's very cute.
It's great. I mean, I think that list looks really good for what the deck is trying to do. I just don't think that, like, the deck a lot of times come down to Future Fusion or Bust.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't want to put a Future Fusion or Bust deck like that high. Like, I feel like a Fufu or Bust deck shouldn't be in A tier. if that's the game plan.
I get you. I get you. All right.
What do you want to talk about?
You know what? How about let's go with my deck that I actually like, but I know is a Make-A-Wish deck, Monster Mash.
I think that Monster Mash could be a D or a C, personally.
I would love to give it a D, but I need you to, I mean, I've played a few other Monster Mash decks.
I think your list is a Make-A-Wish.
The quick draw one?
Yeah. Buddy of mine, Paul has worked on Monster Mash quite a bit, and his lists have been very cute. And won matches off of me in the past.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm quite surprised at. And generally, I feel like those look like the Machina stuff. I mean, look, Magical Merchant's a cool card. Okay, like
Magical Merchant, mill the whole deck, get your Avarice, and then just.
Yeah, I mean, if you could resolve the one guy, it's pretty good. Gallus can be, Gallus hit Eltanin off the top for 11. I think, and playing that deck with Valleys and Eltanin and the machine stuff, Eltanin gives you that extra board wipe. Like, I feel like it can play. It's not great, but I feel like, you could win a local with it if you really do well.
If you squint your eyes the whole way and you'd be like, I could do better. I could do it. I could do it.
Yeah, just like Gemini. You could win a local with it if you really, really believe in yourself and try hard and get a little lucky.
Yeah, you just get you get no Blackwings, no frogs, no nothing all the way to your victory, and you're like, okay, cool, I made it here.
I think the frogs is part of the problem. I don't know. I haven't played much Monster Mash, so I can't talk too much. I just don't think it's. I think it can be Make-A-Wish, or I think it's better than Make-A-Wish.
Okay, I'll give it D. That's fine. Do you think it's better than Gemini, or do you think it's worse than Gemini?
Honestly, I think Gemini is probably better.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I think Gemini could be a C tier deck, maybe.
If people actually played it.
If more than one person played it, maybe.
Yeah.
Sorry, if more than one person competently played it. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about another Make-A-Wish deck. Let's talk about aliens.
Sure. I'm going with that. I mean, there has been a dude. I forget his name. He's
nice guy. I don't remember I'm blanking on his name too.
Yeah. He's been going like 50-50. He's been going like 2-2 or like sometimes 3-2. And he does fine with the deck.
I think it's a deck that can, kind of like 6-Ams. It can win here and there. I think Aliens is better than 6-Ams. I think it has some pretty interesting and powerful cards. Like, it basically has, Pollutant Planet Virus is like its own one-sided board wipe, and it also has I don't remember what the name of it is, but it has the Icarus attack also.
Yeah, the worst Icarus. Yes.
Yeah. So I think. Aliens has some cool cards. It sucks that you have to play a 1900 vanilla, but I don't know. There's another C tier deck on here that's playing a 1900 vanilla, so.
Yeah, I mean. 1900 vanillas do get over most of the stuff you kind of need to deal with in the format, so it's not the worst.
Everyone's lost a game or two here to Golgar bouncing Call of the Haunted every turn, so.
Oh yeah, when they're bouncing the cold, the Swords of Revealing Light, and then the Fiendish Change, and you're like. Okay, cool. I think we'll just scoop this one. When they can really
get going, they'll win.
Point.
But I think the problem is that the deck kind of also just has to play a bunch of bad cards, and the Alien engine just doesn't feel like there's enough cards in it either, right? Like have Ammonite.
There's none good ones. There's a bunch in there.
Warrior, it's like Warrior, Shock Trooper, and Ammonite. And Warrior and Shock Trooper don't do anything.
Thanks. You're not playing the Mother. You're not playing the one with the big head and big eyes. I forget what that one's called.
Yeah, and then if Ammonite just gets stopped by Oppression or a DD Crow or something, then sometimes they just lose.
Yeah, you're just sitting on a 100, just vanilla essentially, and you're like, cool.
Yeah, I mean, the way that I kind of view that deck is it's a way worse version of Blackwing. It's like a Blackwing deck, but none of the monsters have effects.
And it's relying all on back row.
it's relying all on back row, which is just worse versions of the Blackwing back row. It
Yeah,
doesn't have a Colute, and it does have a Blizzard,
it
but
does.
that's all it's got.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
fun deck to play though. Like, I'd rather play
fun,
that than I'd play
fun.
Blackwings.
I would have all of the. I would play aliens here and there if Gogar wasn't so expensive.
Yeah, yeah,
All right,
he's a
one
little
second.
pricey. You know what? Let's go ahead and go with let's just go ahead and put him up there. Vayu Turbo.
The S tier,
Yeah,
the tier 0.5 deck.
yeah, Vayu Turbo. Would
Yeah,
you? Yeah, it's up there. It's
I mean, 9 out of 16 uh top spots at Arbet
hmm.
2 weeks ago. Unbelievable.
I think what was it? It was
Um,
a Vayu Turbo mirror in the finals of Deck Devastators this past weekend as well.
yeah. And as someone who's played more Vayu Turbo than any other deck in the format, it's broken.
It
Like
is.
you're just playing all of the best one ofs, and like, yeah, you can draw like terrible, you can mill like shit, and like sometimes it's fine. It doesn't matter. And then sometimes you just have bad RNG and Vayu loses. I don't
You're,
want to call it a high rolly deck, even though sometimes it feels like it. Um,
how about when Trooper Mills survives for like 6 turns and only has one good mill in those 6 turns?
yeah, there was a match we played where Nick let my card trooper live because I was milling that badly. He just was like, I don't. Why do I need to kill the trooper? You just keep milling all your good one ups.
Like, you
And
can't get over my dupe right now, and like, yeah, just
yeah,
keep on milling. It's fine.
I milled 9 cards, and it was just all the good things I wish I was drawing. So I mean, Vayu has its own problems, but
Yeah.
results are results, man. The deck
No,
consistently just
and
shows itself to
that's like
be
an
the
enigma.
best.
Like, more often than not, you're gonna get your mills, you're gonna get your greffers just going, and I mean, the one thing that I will say is that Frog Monarch does kind of check the deck more often than not.
Frog Monarch is a very annoying matchup. Luckily, not a ton of people are playing Frog Monarch anymore. They're all playing Frog Hero, which is a more manageable matchup.
Yeah,
Even
because
though a lot of your cards in Vayu aren't as good, in theory,
Oppression
Frog
just
Monarch is a
checks
much more
Frog
annoying
Hero
version.
so much harder than it fucking checks Frog Monarch.
Yeah. No, Frog Monarch is a very annoying matchup. Um, but no, yeah, I think Vayu can just sit at the top, and everyone's played against Vayu. Everyone's played Vayu. I think that there's more room for changing things around in Vayu decks and them still being good than people think at this point. But yeah, you know what you're getting into when you look at Vayu already. There's not much more to
Oh
say
yeah,
about
no,
that.
like there might be a couple cards here and there that's changed out, but you're like, okay, I should expect A, B, C, D, maybe Q, but like probably not.
Yeah, so
And I mean, since we're gonna put Vayu up there,
yeah,
Black
Vayu best deck.
Wings.
Blackwing Pure, one of the best decks.
I still think it's better than Turbo.
Incorrect. Um, but it's very good.
Like, the matchup alone is just like ass for both players.
I mean, it's a 55-45 in Vayu's favor. Let's be real. But anyway, just in general, though, Blackwing's Pure, very strong deck. I think, the draw traps innovation a little bit while back was very good and very smart. And then I think that's helped Blackwings be good overall because you don't know when you sit down from your opponent whether they're going to be on draw traps or not. So even the existence of that tech at all makes the matchup harder because
Yeah.
you're already thinking, what if that's not real? But then you also kind of just have to play like they're real because Blackwings does play that many broken traps. And as I was saying when talking about it earlier, when we were talking about hybrid, Blackwings just has this natural advantage of playing Icarus and Kalute. So you have to respect cards and play in a certain way just
Yeah. No,
based on the fact that they're
100%.
playing the deck Blackwings, which is a big advantage to the deck and very annoying for everyone else.
Like leaving any monster under 2,800 on the board is just a risk.
Yeah, and I mean, like,
it's just gonna get walked over by, like, especially it sucks when it's just a Shira Kalute and you're just like,
yeah, it just,
all right, cool.
yeah, I think Pure Blackwings is pretty decent in almost all of its matchups. Even its like quote unquote bad matchups are like fine.
Yeah, it's
Like,
it's probably definitely one of the most like well-rounded. Like, it's a deck you can just show up with and do well, and like you can make mistakes and still win.
it is one of the more forgiving decks, I would say.
Yeah.
I think Vayu can be a little forgiving. I think depending on how well you drew.
Yeah.
I think Blackwings are probably one of the most forgiving. Now, of course, you'll still lose to playing poorly, but overall, as far as forgiving goes, like Blackwings Pure and lightsworn generally are the kind of decks that are more forgiving.
Yeah.
As opposed to Glads, where if you fuck up, you lose. Instantly.
Oh, yeah. One mess up and you're like, yeah, you just ask Joel.
Yeah, I mean, and Blackwings having access to piercing, like very easy access to piercing, is something that I don't see talked about a lot as far as one of the advantages of the deck. But I've been thinking a lot about piercing damage recently and how big of a deal it actually is. And I think that that's like maybe one of Blackwing's strengths that we should be focusing on, which is like,
Oh yeah, Bora Pump or like
low,
what was it? Armor Wing just summon. It becomes into a 28, right? I think.
Yeah, like it just like the decks that need a little more time and want to slow down the pace of play have a lot more trouble slowing down the pace of play without specific back row into Blackwings.
Yeah.
Which I think is very interesting.
Yes.
But when Blackwings don't have Black Whirlwind, if they run out of cards, they run out of cards.
Yeah.
Which sometimes you can just win. But if they open a Whirlwind, sure, sometimes you just get run down so fast.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, well, everything is, I'm on the back foot, and I'm going to be on the back foot until the end of this game. So, I hope my draws are good.
But if you want to know why we put Vayu above Blackwing's Pure, just ask Noah last week about our match. It was about 5 minutes of gameplay there.
That's rough. Oh my goodness.
He got about 3 turns. Anyway.
That's wild. All right, coming on for that. Let's go ahead and let's talk about X-sabers real quick.
X-saber, I
think it's a C tier deck. There just aren't enough tops.
You're right. There's not enough tops, but I think if more people played it, the deck would do better.
Like I've still yet to see anyone really like innovate or play the X-saber list from the what was it, the YCS, I think late last year, where I think it topped.
You know what's interesting is it's the kind of deck that people seem to like in a certain sense. Like everyone's like, oh yeah, X-saber is cool, but like it's bad in Edison. It's just kind of the quote line, I think.
Yeah.
But like, I think just not enough people are playing it to like and like really trying to innovate out of it. I've lost more matches to X-saber than I have any of the decks that we have in C or D tier, except for Hero Beat. I feel like it could be a B tier. I think you're right now. Probably a C tier deck. But I think
I think it's top of C. I think it's top of C, low B.
Yeah, it's definitely better than Chamber.
More people to play it.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe that's something I'll look into in the future. Maybe I'll play some X-saber in the future. I have all this stuff.
Definitely go grab that list. And they also need to reprint the fucking trap card because the shit is $30.
Oh, that's why I haven't been playing it. It's because maybe if Saber Hole wasn't like a $20 card.
Yeah, $30 card, bro.
Oh, that's right. 30.
Yeah,
30. If it was 20,
each.
I'd have them.
Yeah, 30 each.
Good lord.
Yeah, honestly, maybe this is the same thing with like.
Maybe that's the thing. Yeah, is it just needs like there's a very good card in the deck and it needs a reprint, and the deck isn't proven enough for people to want to pay that price for that card.
Yeah, speaking of that, let's go ahead and talk about Amarillis, because Amarillis became a more real deck the second the reprint came out, and the card was no longer $40-$50 for an unland.
Yeah, and then let me say this: Amarillis hasn't topped a bit recently. I mean, it did actually just top at the DDV.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm pretty certain there was
online
a plant list
online tournament alert. You're dude. If anyone actually watches these videos, they're gonna fucking hate me. Um, God, they're gonna. Anyway, but
I mean, but to be fair,
look,
like a lot of our
we both
experience
played.
is like in IRL tournaments, like
Yeah,
in SoCal. So like that's mainly like any of the online tournaments we'll like watch from a distance. And we're like,
yeah,
oh, that's cool.
yeah. I mean, and anyway, between the two of us, we played a ton of Amarillis and a ton of different lists.
Yeah,
I think.
I think it's bottom May.
I
It's
think
under
it's bottom of
GBs,
eight too.
under GBs because it gets
I
so
agree.
hardly checked by GBs.
You know what's annoying is like I look at Amarillis on its face and I'm like, damn, it's such a good deck. And then I look at these decks we have here. Glads again, lightsworn, Blackwing, and you're like, oh, Amaryllis has just such a hard time in every single one of those decks.
Oh, and there's nothing worse than having a Amaryllis in defense position and they go Sirocco, Bora, and you're just like,
You're just like,
all
great.
right, cool. I hope there's not a clue behind that.
Like, even them going like Shura swing, you're just like, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Glads obviously just go like, oh, thanks for the Amaryllis. Swing into it, already banish, like, whatever.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, I'll gladly take the 800 damage right there. Like, what?
Now, on the other hand, Amaryllis, I think, could really pop off this weekend. If Vayu is seeing a lot of representation, I think Amaryllis could be in a good spot to really come back because Amaryllis has a very nice match into Vayu Turbo, and I think it has a pretty good matchup into. It has a great matchup, I think, into Frog Monarch as well. I think Hero Frog is a little more difficult, but it's not a bad matchup, I don't think.
The Hero Frog just having like the board wipe just makes it a lot more difficult, really.
Yeah. But I think it has a really good matchup into Vayu Turbo and Frog Monarch, which is nice, and those are some of the best decks.
Like it, yeah, because it has a sweat. I'll give it Frog Monarch for sure, just because Titanial is a card, and like that Titanial does check a lot of the cards up here.
Yep.
And then, like, it has a good matchup in Lightsworn because Lightsworn needs its like some life points at some point. But if you're just able to just beat them down, 800 here, 800 there, a Titanial swings in to get over for like 1100, and you just whittle them down pretty quickly, as Amaryllis tends to do. The second the JD hits the board, and they're like, I have one wipe, and if I don't win off of this wipe, that's it. I lose the next turn.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, I think Amaryllis A tier. I think it's been. I think as people play less Gigabyze, as time goes on, which I think is kind of happening, you'll see more people turn back to Amaryllis. Or interestingly, we saw the Gigaplant in the list at top DDV.
Yes. And then they were also playing GBs on the side, which both me and you really liked.
Yeah, that's been a thing for a little while. Like some of the earlier Amaryllis lists were doing that too. It's cool to see it again. But the point I wanted to make though was I think that we may see some innovation as time goes on, kind of combining some of the ideas from Gigabyze into Amaryllis. I think I was testing lists like that for a little while. I think I'm not big brain enough to make that jump myself. It was very hard to play. But I think there's probably some sauce there. I think for a deck that's been innovated on many different times, and we've seen many very different looking Amaryllis lists top in the past.
Yeah, because like the Amaryllis lists now are way different than the burn Amaryllis decks that like were the OG when it first came out.
Yeah, like the volcanic counter stuff. When was the last time you saw a volcanic counter in Amaryllis, right?
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I think that it's still a deck that still has a lot of room for innovation, and I'm interested to see what happens. I think that maybe the code still hasn't even been cracked yet. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
I like A tier for it though.
I do as well. I mean, since we're talking about Gigabyze, let's go ahead and talk about Gigabyze and Forks. I think these are top B, low A, just because
I think they're like B personally.
Because they're essentially they're both doing the same thing. They're just spamming out synchros and then pushing for a game. And I mean, I think Forks is better than Gigabyze.
I agree.
But like,
I think Forks could sit in A tier. I I think Gigabyze is more of a B tier deck just because of look, the board that like the true Gigabyze board is an S tier board. But
For sure. But getting to that,
how often do you get it set up? Like
more often than not, it just turns into Titanial Turbo, and then you just go Titanial Beat. That's it.
yeah, it like it's that like every time I play against Gigabyze, it's like okay, like game one, they either got off the combo or they didn't. Right?
Yeah.
They either won or they lost based on whether they got off the combo early enough. Otherwise, I just killed them.
Mhm.
And then games 2 and 3, it's like, okay, well, I've sided out all the cards that don't do anything, and I've sided in as much hate as I can. Like, I have Fossil Dynas in that they have to deal with before they combo. I have multiple oppressions in. It's like, okay, well, they have to see their Trunade or their Cold Wave, or not their Cold Wave, they can't play that card. They have to see their Heavy or their Trunade before they combo, so they have to wait even longer, you know? Or they have to just play into the traps.
Yeah.
So
And I mean, DD Crow even hurts the deck. Like DD Crow hurts both these decks quite a fucking bit.
yeah, like DD Crow.
It hurts
DD
Gigabyze
Crow,
maybe like a little bit less because they do have the DDR. But like, go ahead and neg
But it
yourself
also-
two
it-
more cards.
Yeah, it changes. It also changes their plays, their combo plays, right?
Yeah.
They can only like if you DD Crow them at the right time, they then have to pivot, and their board's not going to be as strong, even if they do get up a good board, because sometimes they just have to stop at that point too.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I have cracked full Gigabyte board before, and won. So, like, it's not impossible to beat even if they do get everything. It's not great. You have to open pretty good depending on what deck you're playing.
Yeah.
But in Vayu, I have just turn 2 cracked the entire board and won because of that. So I don't know. Now Forgs, on the other hand, very annoying deck to play.
Like play into, but all like so thankfully, I think I have like 100% win rate whenever anytime I've played Amaryllis versus Forgs, because what was it? I know what was it? Haman was playing kind of like Forgs ish, kind of when he was playing the Teva stall or Tiva stall,
Yeah.
and like once again, Titanial getting to mention, he was just like, he told me like multiple times, I have to play so different into this matchup that like it forces me to make such bad plays.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I feel
Forgs
like
is already
Forgs-
difficult enough to play. I've tried it, and it's just there's a lot going on.
It's hard. If you want to play it for a full day, like, that sucks. And you have to know that you're going to go into time almost every round, which also sucks.
Yeah.
And I mean, I personally think the deck is like I froze.
I see that.
Let's fix that. Anyway,
Okay.
I don't think it's the best deck by any means. Mostly because like yeah, it's a combo deck and it can get interrupted. I think like game 1, I think it has a very good matchup into a lot of stuff. I think games 2 and 3,
very much so.
games 2 and 3, once your opponent knows what you're doing and just can take out all their cards that suck against the deck, it gets way harder. And like a Hero Frog can like normal summon and deal with the Fossil Dyna in a way that Forgs can struggle a lot more too.
Okay, because like your native out is Death Frog and it's a tribute monster.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think like raw power level, I leave it in A, but like if I were to like make a tier list of what I think you should consider bringing to a tournament, I would put it down in B or C just because of
I'd put this in D.
taxing it is to play.
I'd put it in D. If we were doing it off like a tier list off of that, like what you should take, this would be in D, or like don't even bother, because like as you said, you're going to time every single time, and like that is draining. Like especially if you're going to a big tournament like an Arbet, like then you're looking at like 7-9 rounds plus. Like no.
I mean, and it does have the benefit of like tilting your opponent, I will say.
It does. Sitting there taking like a 10-20 minute turn, like yeah.
just because like in Edison, like you're just like if you've been playing exclusively Edison like for a long time, like
Yeah.
you're just not used to sitting there for that long and not doing anything while your opponent tries to figure shit out.
Hmm.
And it's very boring for you, even if you're winning against the fourth player. Um, so I think to me it almost like Forks feels like a thought experiment of a deck to me, if that makes sense. Like you sit there and you think about it and you're like, dude, you can do all of this and then you get to this and then they can't deal with it and you're
It's
like
it's
and
one of the
you get
most
to triple dupe over
spreadsheety
and over and
decks
over.
in the format. Like if there's anyone
Yeah.
that could sell a spreadsheet for a deck in Edison format, it's Forks.
Yeah, and so like I get it, like it's a fun thought experiment, but not a fun thought experiment to play all day, in my opinion. So
Yeah,
I don't
if
know.
you can memorize
Very-
like 27 different spreadsheets on like how you're supposed to like interact with A, B, C, B, Q, Z fucking quadrillion board, by all means, play it.
and look, being able to colossal armory OTK really, really consistently is good
It's very
against
good.
some decks. Some decks are not going to care about that. But that's the biggest thing you have going for you. But if you're playing against a deck that just, I don't know, has responsive traps that can interrupt your plays, or
Yeah.
just like kill the colossal fighter, like, I don't know.
Like main deck oppression, main deck DD Crow, or like any of the other stuff that like is
I mean, again,
considered
I think
side
it has a
decky
good game
stuff.
one. I think it has a really strong game one. I
Oh
think
yeah, I
game
mean,
2 and
but
3,
that's also just kind of like frogs in general.
that's a frog thing.
Like
Yeah.
frogs just have like the best game one in the format.
Yeah, but I think that Forgs loses even harder than Hero or Monarch to the frog hate.
Yes,
So I think that keeps it down.
I agree. I agree.
All right,
And
enough
then-
talking about that.
Enough talking about both of those because yeah, no, those decks are so complicated. Like, let's go to something simple. Fish OTK. E tier.
I think that's fine. I
'Cause
think
It suffers from the same thing as these, with the setup being way more harder, and it's also just not good.
it's a little more fragile. Yeah, and I think that there's maybe 2 people who can be good with that deck, and even then, they struggle to put up consistent results with it. So,
Okay, and then we're gonna do this next one.
all right, we got to power through.
He's gonna sock me in the faces if I don't give this a good rating. I'm gonna put Flamville at B.
I would agree, actually.
I think I would put it behind Gigabyze, but I think it's a B tier deck. What was it? Albert over at the shop, he played it consistently through the last season, won a lot of tournaments with it.
He did
And
very well, yeah.
He proved me
he beat
wrong.
Prolific.
I think I put it
Yeah.
in like F tier before, and all right.
No, I mean, I
I'll
think
change it.
Fire Dog, Magician are, I mean, not Magician necessarily, but being a level 4 tuner is good. But Fire Dog is a good card. I mean, it's just Shura, basically.
Yeah,
but it
just
can get a level
100
4
more.
tuner.
It's sure
Yeah.
if you squint.
Yeah. And I mean, Rekindling.
Rekindling's a very good card. Very,
good card.
very. It's soul
As
charge.
someone-
It's fucking
as
soul
someone-
charged.
As someone who played Rekindling as my second copy of Soul Charge in Infernoid for my Decatrons for years, I have a soft spot in my heart for Rekindling. But yeah, being the only deck to have access to Soul Charge in a format is pretty kind of busted. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Like if there was a couple more better Flamvilles, I think it would definitely be A tier, maybe S tier.
Yeah,
but
I think Flambeau would be a very consistent deck if there were just a couple more good Flambeau cards.
yeah,
I think pure Flambeau and B tier is kind of fair. I think that no one really plays it, but if people did, it would do okay here and there. I think I haven't seen anyone else play it, but obviously Keegan's Flambeau Fairy deck did incredible at the big CX tournament like a month ago.
Yeah.
And I would be interested to see if that deck can stick around and do anything else. Obviously that's kind of his brainchild. And he's not playing it much more, it seems like.
It was the flavor of the month, most likely.
Yeah, but I liked a lot of the theory in that deck, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone else was able to pick it up and do well with it.
Yeah. All right, next one. Let's go ahead. You specifically requested for this one.
Yeah, and we talked
Quick
about it a little
draw
bit already.
hero. Where would you put this?
I think it can go in B tier as well.
Really? Okay, so before this, you were talking mad shit on it, and you're like, this deck is Make-A-Wish at best.
No,
and you're like, I
think-
want to piss people off.
Look, it's normal quick draw, but you're playing a package of like Stratos, Alias, Future Fusion, and Plasma, basically. And Plasma's a good card. Basically, I mean, it helps you play through deck dev a little bit if you see the hero stuff.
Mm.
Future Fusion, I think, Quick Draw is one of the weakest Future Fusion decks. In terms of like Future Fusion does the least for the Quick Draw deck, but sometimes dumping Dandy is just kind of good enough.
Yeah, Dandy summon Stratos, and then you're just like, oh, okay, I'm kind of just off to the races.
Yeah, and then then you search Plasma, and that's actually can be high key annoying. Because some decks just don't have a good out to Plasma.
I've had a few times where I played against a GB player, and like I was playing Plasma and Quick Draw, and I just summon it, and they're just like, yeah. I can't out that right now, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to out that anytime soon.
Yep, and it can just be a bitch. Yeah. Now I think that the hero cards could be better served being something else in Quick Draw, personally, but I don't know. I think it's fine. I think it's basically just another variant on OG Quick Draw that works.
Is it better than a Quick Draw Plant?
Depending on what we're talking about with Quick Draw Plans, I feel like it's about the same, realistically.
Okay, that's fine. All right. It wouldn't be an Edison tier list if we didn't talk about Diva.
You got a lot of Diva.
There's a lot of Diva, and all of them are like non-existent at this point. Like, I can't remember the last time I sat across from someone and they were playing any variation of Diva.
All right, Diva Hero is S tier if Oscar Ruano was playing it, and it's B tier if anyone else is playing it.
Hey, shout outs to the boy Oscar, by the way. Shout outs to the boy Oscar. He's won multiple events, multiple R events. You know what?
I mean, I don't know. That's how I feel about it. Is not enough of the 500 IQ players are playing it to like push it up. I think it's a hard enough deck to play well over the course of a day that you have to be pretty damn good at the deck. And if you're decent at it, it's an A or B tier. But if you're very, very, very good at it, it can show up very high.
Top of B, low of B, middle of B.
I think it'd be top of B.
I think top of B. I think it beats Gigabyze just naturally, just because of board wipes and just Absolute is just that good of a card.
Yeah.
Okay, Diva Frogs. This is gonna be the lowest I put a frog list, but I think this one is in C tier because it doesn't. You just lose harder to deck dev. Like deck dev just absolutely obliterates this deck. As someone that's played it before, we'll just go deck dev, and you're like, oh, there goes both my divas, my swap, my substitute, and everything else. Cool. Pass turn.
Yeah, I haven't really played that deck. I don't have much to add to that other than it seems like it would lose to deck dev really bad, which two of the best decks in the format played multiple deck dev in the main, so.
Yeah. And Diva Hero Beat. Do you think it's better than regular Hero Beat, Hero Stun?
I think they're about the same, to be honest, at this point. I like it. I don't know. I think that the decks are. I think that the decks are extremely similar. I think that like I feel like most of the time nowadays you would just see 2 Diva, 1 Gilman.
Yeah.
Honestly, which is just not that big of a difference from normal Hero Beat. I think that they work about the same. It's good that they like. I feel like it's nice if you get access to like a Goyo Guardian or something. Like it can really help. I guess it pushes the ceiling a little bit, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's anything better than a C. In all honesty.
Yeah, I think it's about the same there. Yeah.
All right, here's the one deck that should be S tier, but is realistically low end B tier because any point of interaction that touches this deck or sneezes on it, it folds immediately.
Yeah, I think that this deck gets hurt one of the most out of everything by like oppression, after the board, like
Bottomless hits the deck stupid hard.
yeah, honestly, like it is silly how hard like just all the normal traps can hit it. I mean, I do. That's the thing is like I do like diva zombies, and I think we can kind of talk about No, I guess not. But
I
I
mean,
think
they're
like diva
kind of the
zombies.
same thing.
Yeah, they're very similar with or without the divas, and sometimes you see the two like things splashed together. I think that they're kind of in the same spot though. Really, they're very similar. They play very similarly, other than the psychics versus the diva. I think
Yeah.
Welladad's maybe a little better.
I'd put
Personally.
just for the fact of like e-call and then what was it, telekinetic, just being able to get from graveyard, I think just naturally makes it better.
I think E-Telly's really strong. But yeah, I mean both of the decks get hurt really bad by oppression, and deck dev I think can really mess up both of these decks.
It like,
and
don't get me
even
wrong,
Kaius,
both of these decks, like the board that they put up can just S tier.
Oh, it can be crazy. And
Like, just
I love like the instant fusion stuff, honestly. I really like. I think those versions of the deck look really good. We haven't seen as much of that recently, but like Reaper on the Nightmare with Book of Life and like playing heavy Caius lineups, I think look like I like that. I've played that quite a bit. I've done decently with that. I'm a little surprised we don't see as much of that going around anymore, but again, it might just be because of the decks.
like the downsides are very just like,
Yeah.
they're down there. Like, do I think these decks can beat all of these ones below it? 100%. Like, without a shadow of a doubt. Coming up to up here, anything above it, it's gonna struggle very hard, especially after siding.
Yeah, I think they can win. I think post side it gets kind of hard. Interestingly, I think that the Caius heavy version of the decks kind of have decent matchups into like a deck like Vayu, and like maybe Glass.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I like if they pop off and they combo off, they can just kill you out of nowhere. I think that you have to be a very strong and practiced player with these decks to do well with them consistently is part of it too.
Yeah, very much so. Like, you can't just like pick. These are definitely a deck that you just don't pick up and just play like on the spot. This is something you need to play like
exactly.
It's quite a few times.
You have to practice and know to do well more than just once. You know.
Yeah. No. 100%.
I think very fun decks, for sure.
I love Welladad. Welladad. If I was gonna play one of the two, I'd play Welladad again. It was a shit ton of fun. Like, Krebons on top of just like, like the instant fusion, just having just fun shenanigans off of it. It's just like, And,
I mean, Psychic Commander, good card too.
Very good card.
Like level three tuner basically acts as a 1900 a lot of the time. Like it's got a lot of little things going for it. Yeah.
All right, let's go with one of your decks, Dragon Turbo.
I've never.
You played dragons, but like.
Yeah, Dragon Turbo. We'll talk about a generational fall off.
Okay, Dragon Turbo, I think, is a D tier deck.
I think for a deck that's won multiple R bets, D tier is a little low.
Well, here's the thing. It is a D tier deck in paper, S tier deck online, because old boy that plays it online tops so consistently and wins with it, but no one else on the fucking planet does well with this goddamn deck. Like, I think it's such a I think the deck is great. I do. But just like no tops in paper is just crazy.
I mean, it has tops in paper. It just hasn't had a top in paper in a very long time. It won Moval.
Actually, well, I'll put it in C.
Yeah. I mean, I think that Dragon Turbo nowadays, I feel like it's just been outclassed. I think it was the OG best combo deck, especially when it was first innovated. But now it just, I think there's been enough innovation in Edison format that like, and people kind of know what Dragon Turbo is trying to do. That like, yeah, if the Dragon Turbo player really really knows what they're doing and is pretty practiced with it, like, and is drawing well, they can do well. But I also just don't. I think personally, part of what I'm guessing is that not a lot of people enjoy playing Dragon Turbo for very long, so no one wants to be that practiced with it to begin with.
Yeah,
And
honestly,
people
yeah,
don't generally have
valid.
fun playing against Dragon Turbo. Like, it doesn't lead for a lot of fun matches, if that makes sense. So
No, it
you don't
does. That makes
see it
perfect
very
sense.
often. I
Yeah.
think is part of like I think that's part of the mental game behind it. So I think it's a powerful deck. I would also leave it in C tier. I think a lot of these decks above it at this point can just deal with it and like aren't getting blown out of the water OTK'd the same anymore, if that makes sense. Like when I'm playing Vayu into Dragon Turbo, I'm generally not that afraid of the deck. I'm like, okay, I know which traps are good, I know which cards to interrupt, and honestly, surprisingly, DDV is actually really good against that deck. You'd think it wouldn't be, but
Oh no,
this
hitting the what was it?
like,
Hitting the stone or hitting the what
the
is it?
debris.
The debris is just
Yeah.
massive.
Like, yeah, they get their search off the stone, which is what they're going for anyway, but also like they're drawing a bunch of cards, and then anytime that they hit a little guy, it's just got to go out of their hand.
Yeah.
You know?
They want the little guys to bring out the red med and then go ahead and just start plussing a bunch. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So I don't know, and I honestly I think out of the like giant fuck off OTK decks, it's one of the slower ones. Like, it takes a couple of turns most of the time. And a lot of decks can just kind of mount a defense that Dragon Turbo can't get through. And Dragon Turbo can only put up its board the one time, and the deck is empty.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel like it's just gotten outclassed over time, personally.
All right. Next one, we'll go ahead and go with Chaos Fairies.
Mhm.
I think bottom of May.
Yeah, I think.
I think most of the fairy decks are probably going to be A tier, and
Yep.
that's
They're
about it.
A-tier, they're just hard to pilot. I think that they're good. I think that they're underrepresented for how strong they are. When they're played well, they can do well. We've seen it over and over and over again. I think Chaos Fairy and Pure Fairy are kind of, in my opinion, about equal.
It kind of just comes.
That
It's
fairy
what
players
game
can
plan you're
argue
really
among-
going for. That's really it.
Yeah, it's very similar game plan. I think the fairy players can argue amongst themselves about which one is better. And we
Yeah.
can leave that to them.
100%.
But I think-
Go ahead and argue in the comments.
Strong deck. And it has access to everything in the deck, which is always a good thing to see.
Yeah, Herald of Orange Light is just a good card. Just
Oh yeah, if we're gonna talk about Herald, let's put Christia.
yeah, Christian Sworn's up here. I think.
I think it's below.
You think so?
I don't know. I've played a good amount of Christia Sworn. Power level S tier. Draws. Oh my god! If you're not like, if you can just draw poorly and you just cannot top. I think
that's happened to
cannot
Jabron a
do
few
well.
like like where he just he just draws his hand and he's like, I don't win from here. And it's
Yeah,
just,
you just go next. Like,
Yeah.
there's no point. Like if you feel like you're bricking on lightsworn, you're bricking way worse on Christia Sworn more consistently. Now
Yeah.
your ceiling is higher. Christia is a great card, but I feel like, I don't know, the other fairy deck that we don't have listed here, and maybe we could talk about this with
Which
Pure
one?
Fairy, but the like the Valhalla fairy deck.
I mean, I think
'Cause
that kind
I
of falls in like pure, I would say.
Yeah, I think that deck is more high A, bottom of S. Personally, I think that deck is really good. I think it's not getting played a ton, but it's put up some results. And I mean, at that big CX tournament, what, two or three of them topped, right?
I think so, yeah. I'm correct, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see more people playing that deck. I think it's really good. Again, just like Pure Fairy, it's really hard to play, but it can put up a Christia more consistently than Christia Sworn, which I think.
Yeah, kind of just going turn one Christia when you can is
Yeah, and multiple times, and then if they're playing the Tetias, and can resolve the Tetias, although that's more of a honeypot card.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know. I think that deck's really good, actually. I think that if you want to consider that kind of the pure fairy nowadays, because I feel like it's more consistently seen than the OG kind of fairy deck, I'd push that almost to the top of A tier.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
Chaos
because I
Fairies
think
was
it just has a better matchup in the Lightsworn. Yeah, I can see
yeah,
that.
I think so. I think so too. And then Christia. Yeah, Christia. I mean, Christia Sworn's really like it's just
Christia's one
it's
just
so
can blow
strong.
you out, like just being like or JD Christia or JD blow up board,
Yeah.
summon Christia and just swing, and then you're just like, oh, I just lose here.
Yeah, and then like the triple beckoning lists look really good. You just get to like fix your hand every time, and then just
Oh yeah,
reuse your
the
orange
graveyard
lights.
modulation is just fucking like,
Yeah,
oh,
and
okay, cool.
Orange light is busted, and people have been teching in green or purple here and there, and obviously, when they come up and they're good, they're good.
Yeah, when purple resolves to stop like
And when I play against my boy Jasur, he wins every single game with Christie Sworn. I don't know how he does it. He opens triple recharge, hits 4 fairies, 4 light sworns every time.
that's tough. All right, so then off of that, let's go with Twilight's Worn.
I feel like it goes right next to Lightsworn Pier, personally.
You think so?
I think so. I think
It's just a quote unquote a
maybe
worse
not.
version.
I think it's a little weaker, actually.
I'm thinking it's like B tier, just because sometimes you have to banish some stuff you don't want to banish, just to like kind of deal with a board, and like that can just put you in like very just shitty spots.
I feel like what I think about it is more. It's a little brick. It has a slightly higher ceiling than Lightsworn Pier, but it's a little brickier. Having access to Sork and Dad, sometimes you can just win games for free. That Lightsworn Pier might have to fight for a little more.
Okay.
I don't know.
Would you put
the
it
deck
below
plays very similar.
GBs or above GBs?
Probably still above GBs. I'm not surprised when a Twilight Sworn list like with top versus a Light Sworn list. You know what I mean? Like to me
I
they
get
feel
you.
so similar that like
I mean,
there's
Twilight Sworn
not
just
much
has that nice little spot removal because of like the Chaos Orc or like any of the other like chaos monsters that they have.
Yeah, and I mean, and it depends on like how deep the deck is going into it, because some of them like they're really like they might not even be playing Dad, you know, like they might just be playing like Sork and then like a couple of DD Crows for interaction to keep it live, and then Necro Plague, but the Necro Plague are in Lightsworn Pier anyway.
Yeah,
like only Christia Sworn is the one not playing Necro and Plague, you know, so I don't know. I think it's just a very very similar deck. I feel like it can also sit in A tier just fine.
Okay. All right, how about Norialis Dragons?
I'd love to put it higher. I think Norialis Dragons is C tier at very best.
You think it's better than Dragon Turbo?
No. I'd love to say yes, but no. It's too. Oh, it's so bricky.
It honestly, it has a terrible matchup into one of the best decks, Vayu Turbo.
I wouldn't say it's that bad, because actually Norialis Dragons I think has a better matchup than Vayu Norialis specifically into Vayu Turbo. I think Vayu Norialis is the better deck. Having played both, I've played a lot of Norialis. I think Vayu Norialis, I think it should be B tier.
B tier.
That's
okay.
That's just me.
If you had to put it, where would you put it in B tier? Out of all these lists we have right here, where would you put it?
Probably at the very bottom of B tier. I think it's better than.
I was expecting you're like, oh, dude, it's at the top B.
No, I mean it's an S tier deck. If I'm being completely honest, I'm just trying to like appease the casual crowd here by saying it's in B tier.
No, fuck the casuals, bro.
All right, put it in S tier where it belongs.
no, hell no.
V
fucking
that's because people don't
bro.
play my list. That's because people don't play my list.
Yeah, we need to get that list on the channel.
Look,
the list that like loses to my frogs all the time.
When was the last time you played my Vayu Norialis list? Never. No one can tell you. I'm unstoppable.
Nah, that's we'll get. You know what? You know, you wanted to do some duels. We'll do that.
All right, sure. Anyway,
yeah.
No, I'll just talk a little bit about these decks. Norlaris Dragons, I feel like it's the brickier of the two.
I can
It
see that for sure.
it has a little bit
For
of a
sure.
higher ceiling. And it actually is a little bit better in a value just for the reason of you put up bigger guys that are
Yeah.
harder to deal with. But yeah, Hopeless Dragons is just it can be a little rough, I think, to play. Like it's very, very bricky. Vayu Norlaris, depending on how you have it built, it can be very strong. But we've seen, I mean, people aren't playing the deck anymore.
No,
Um,
it's
but
like a
when
pet
people
deck
were
for most
playing it, it
people.
was putting up results. And then people were like, everyone sides DD Crow now. This deck sucks. But then they just kind of stopped playing it. So
I
you just
mean,
haven't seen it do anything. I think part of it is it sucks into like normal dragon decks. Like it's like an unwinnable matchup, unfortunately. And it sucks into I think when Amarillis got more popular, that kind of became a problem too. It
oh,
struggles a lot
100.
in
Yeah, like
Plant.
plants just
If
being
you
like, oh,
can't
okay, cool, thank you. I'll get that Amaryllis out there. Oh, you top decked into nothing. Okay, swing for 3,000.
now, I have I have contingency. I have concepts of a plan on how to play against that deck, but I think in general it struggles. It struggles there. Um, and but I don't know. It's put up results. I wish more people were playing it. This is my call. More people should be playing
All right,
Value
you should play
Nowhere.
it this weekend
Keep
then.
innovating. Keep innovating. I'll play it in a side event pod.
Okay.
I have it. I actually have it built and sleeved up to play in a side event pod.
Okay. Okay. So confirmation, we know you're not playing then.
Not in the main event.
Yeah.
I'm too much of a coward.
Just like Kyle. All right, let's go ahead and go with one of my favorite pet decks, Virus Dragons.
Yeah, where do
I-
you want to put this deck?
Uh, I, it's below Dragon Turbo and Norlaris Dragons. It's down here just because it's the bottom of C. I love
think
it.
Irish Dragon can be better than Narlaris Dragons, to be honest, personally.
I don't know if you've played it before, but the
little bit.
hands where you just see nothing but viruses and like, sure, you'll like set your Fusiliers or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and then you'll like pass and like you'll hit some stuff, and then you'll draw for turn. And you're like, that's another virus, or like that's a red med, and I don't have a dragon.
All right,
I
it's just
didn't see
another
if you-
bricky. It's just another bricky red med deck, basically.
No, it
Like,
is.
it's-
But when you hit them for a shit ton, and you have when you open Future Fusion plus like,
Dang, you did put trap dragons on this list anywhere. That's an actual good dragon deck to talk about. That could go in high B tier, I think.
Trap Dragons. Is that the flip control or the? Which one's that one?
It's just like trap dragons usually play. Like there's a couple of variants of what I would call trap dragons. Like there's the version that plays like the Blizzard Dragon.
Oh, okay, that's what I
that,
thought
like,
it was. Okay.
Yeah, that version, or the ones that like can play Totem Dragon, and just some of the other stuff. And then there's the deck that topped, I forget what event kind of recently that I based that Lightsworn Dragon list off of, that was playing it kind of it was playing like Debris and Dandy and the Red Meds, Wyvern, some discard traps. That deck was really fun. That like I wanted to call it like Debris Dandy like Red Med nonsense.
Mhm.
Anyway, I think that deck should see more representation after having played it for a while and innovate it. Like that deck needs some innovation. Or like people need to keep working off of that list. I think it's really good.
Yeah, because maybe on the next one we'll do that. Because yeah, to be honest, I
Yeah.
completely forgot that deck even existed. Because like it had the couple
Yeah.
tops, and that was it.
Yeah. So I think that deck needs more love.
All right.
Anyway,
Machina gadgets.
yeah, could
I think it's like middle to B.
I think it's higher B tier personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, our boy Kevin's trying it. I mean, he's playing more.
Yeah. I put it about there. That looks good to me. I think.
But of
Yeah,
course,
I mean, Machina Gadgets at top. My boy Eugene. Shout outs to my boy Eugene and his Eugene Gadgets asking me for Horn of Heavens 6 months before he topped with the deck. And
Hey,
then
Horn of Heaven in this
losing,
deck is just
and
disgusting.
then me beating him every single week at locals, and then I walk by and I'm like, how is he at table 8 at the Arbet? How is this possible?
Bro, that's the curse. You beat
and then
the people
he
at your
comes back to
locals.
locals. Yeah. Then he comes back to locals, and I'm like, okay, I beat him again. What's going on here? No, I love Eugene. I clown.
And of course.
No, I think Machina Gadget is actually pretty good. I think, unfortunately, I think when I think about a back row style deck like that, I think you got to be playing like the perfect techs into whatever tournament you're playing.
Yeah, you have
like,
to have a meta read.
You have to have a good meta read, and you have to have something surprising. Like Horn of Heaven is much better when your opponent really doesn't know to play around it at all.
Yeah.
And when your opponent assumes you're on a card like Horn of Heaven, and they start playing around it, it's an uphill battle. It gets less value.
Yeah.
So if you have some other sort of innovation in the back of your head, that works well with the gadgets, I think. There's room. I think B tier is totally fair for it. I think Solidarity also can be an annoying card.
Oh, very much. Like any deck that can really just run limiter is already very terrifying.
Yeah, for sure.
And they main deck that bitch.
Yeah. Now Machina Control.
Yes.
I think can go into bottom of A tier.
Yes, I very much agree.
I think it's the strongest. I think it's better than the Machina Quick Draw for sure. I think Machina Quick Draw is too high on that list where it's at right now. I think very bottom of A tier. I feel like.
Okay, so we'll just swap these.
Yeah, I feel like that's more fair. Yeah, I feel like Machina Control probably the best style of Machina deck. I think
it's probably one of the better hamster Rancho Caius decks.
Yeah, I think
if
it's
even
the second
are
best.
running the Caius.
Yeah, I think it's the second best HRC deck behind Vayu. And yeah, I think it's really strong. It's put up a ton of results in the past, like over a very long period of time, and the deck has, just changed kind of what back row's playing, and what level of control. So I think with a good meta read, and like some good playing, I think you can do well with Machina Control.
Yeah.
Is basically what I'd leave it at. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward deck, I think.
I agree.
It's also not one of the hardest in the world to play well. So
no,
that honestly gives it a benefit of, like, when you think about bringing a deck to a tournament, like...
Yeah, if we're going off that list we were talking about earlier, that metaphorical one, this is definitely one you can pick up and play S tier.
Yeah, I agree. Cool.
All right, Amarillis Quick Draw.
Love it. I think it's top... like above Machina Gadget, below Gigabyze. Personally.
Ooh.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah. I mean, most of the time the quick draw is like supplementary. It's just kind of there to just try and get like a little bit of return off of like your discards and like get your debris back, your fucking lone fires back.
As someone who's played a lot of that deck too, it's the amount of space that you have to make for the quick draw engine, I think unfortunately does hurt the deck and put it below normal Amarillis. Even though when it was the flavor of the month, it was a very good month.
Very much so.
It was
anytime where quick draws in the format, like as a pet deck for people at the time, it's always fun.
Yeah, I think it's fun. It's one of the most fun decks for me to play in the format. I love Amarillis Quick Draw, but I think B tier is a fine spot for it.
I also feel like this version loses a lot harder to deck of course, than regular Amarillis.
Agreed.
All right, Quick Draw Volcanic.
I don't know too much about this one. Other than
it's more of a control deck. I don't think it's anything better than. If I was to say, I think it's probably one of the better C tier decks.
Yeah.
Just because.
So like, what are people playing in this?
So of course, I mean, Volcanic Rocket is already just a fantastic. Just like summon, search, and like, what was it? The spell. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, the continuous.
Yeah, like that not being once per turn is very good. Just being like,
attack, right?
You can attack, but like you can just be like, okay, activate, pitch, pop, and then if you have Avarice in hand, you keep one in the graveyard, and recycle, and you can just continually control the game. The deck also does run Hamster Rankos, So like it is just like it has some form of defense, and then whenever you want to make like a push, I mean you have you have your quick draw, you have your 1900 beater. I mean it's not anything that's gonna like win a game quickly, because it's heavily control. So if control is your kind of deck, this is a very fun deck to play. But if you're looking to kind of OTK your opponent, this is definitely not it. And it does also just kind of just lose to frogs. It loses the Blackwings very quickly because you can't use the spell on your opponent's turn. So
yeah. Okay, yeah. Like I said, I don't know too much about it. I think.
And
Yeah,
also they do
PTLC
play
too.
what is it? Counter, I think. Or no, the other one. The one that nukes the board when it's pitched to the graveyard.
Oh yeah.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah.
And then
I could see how the deck functions. I just C tier is probably a good spot.
yeah.
The Sphere of Chaos Frogs, huh?
Yeah, I think it's an A tier deck just based off of the tops alone. I still have yet to play it and kind of understand it, but I see the concept for it.
Yeah, I mean
just-
it looked really good. I don't play enough of the combo frog style stuff to say. And I don't know how much lasting power it'll have, or if it's just the good for the moment. But it looked impressive in the games at the Arbet.
It did. I just don't think it beats GBs, and yeah.
I'll put it below Amarillis.
Yeah, that's
above Amarillis.
I'm putting it above Amarillis because it is a frog deck, and frog decks just inherently do just like,
you are judging a frog deck.
yeah.
Whatever.
What? God, you're such a. Just so you know, just if you want to tilt this man, just play spiritual water art AoE, and he immediately tilts off the planet. This dude wanted to punch me in the face the other day.
I never get tilted. You've never seen me upset at a tournament.
This is
I've never
completely
been mad at a
false.
tournament. I'm always the most joyous person to play against.
This
You
man
kidding
told me
I've
this
never-
is
I've
utter
never looked
bullshit.
something,
I can't believe you're playing 3 of this fucking card. I hate you. I'm gonna kick your ass.
Words
Yeah,
never
then-
left my mouth.
Sure, bro. But all right, there we go. There is the there's the tier list. 2 hours. 2 hours going over this.
Yeah, we should just start a podcast. Jesus Christ.
Geez, I feel like we probably should. We probably do better numbers than anything on the Kyle channel. In all honesty,
Oh, I thought you were gonna take a real shot. Yeah, we'll do better than anything on Kyle's channel. What do you mean?
no.
I thought you were gonna say something real outrageous.
No. I still gotta have good relationships with people. I can't just like throw people under the bus like that. Not yet.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I'm also going to one of these tournaments this weekend. I'd prefer not to say some shit.
I only make friends.
And then make enemies of your friends. Yes, I know.
Well, they shouldn't spiritual water art alley me 3 turns in a row.
See? I fucking told you. But all right, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed. See y'all at the Arbet this weekend. And just so you know,
Safe.
yeah,
Travel safe. Anyone going to the Arbet, Santa Clara, good luck.
we'll do a little we'll do some more stuff after the Arbet, maybe at the Arbet. We'll see. But all right, everyone. Deuces.